On the path of life, we all have our own unique destiny. The life of every soul has a heroic probability to manifest into its highest levels of abundance and joy, and to be filled with goodness and divine inspiration. That's why I created Awakening with Sarah. And it is my hope to be a guide for you on the journey, bringing powerful tools, helpful wisdom, healing music, and inspirational guests to nourish and bless your journey of awakening. So thanks for joining us today, and we'll be on to our episode. Welcome everybody to another episode of Awakening with Sarah, and this is a solo cast talking about divine alignment. So wherever you are, see if you can bring yourself into a nice upright position where your back is straight, as it is much easier to be in spiritual, emotional, mental alignment when our body is in physical alignment. We do have this beautiful central vertical column that comes up right from our sit bones and all the way up from our pelvis, coming all the way up to the top of the head. We've had some smoke here the last few days, and notice my voice is a little bit affected by that. So I'm just going to do a few little tones to bring myself into alignment with the highest timelines. Kurama sarai charamai korovara maseriana cholorama. Cura Maria Carasuna. So, as we take some nice deep breaths, just to be in receptivity, and so the first thing I would say about coming into divine alignment is that we need to leave the 3D mental body behind. We need to imagine that we are physically taking the third dimensional mind and putting it aside. And then we give the self permission to let all of the bodies, the mental body, the emotional body, the spiritual body, the causal body, the physical body, all of the bodies be led by signs and symbols in our natural world, in our environment. And so, as we do this, we open our minds to these higher octaves, to these higher architectures of creation. As we open our mind to be receptive to this higher rain, this more beautiful rain. Think of it as a rain of energy, a rain of emerald rainbow, blue rainbow light. And that this is kind of like seeds of joy, seeds of beauty, seeds of love, seeds of gratitude that are coming as this energy. And the more we can appreciate the energy, the more the energy increases. And so if we can leave that third dimensional mind behind and we can imagine ourselves driving our car on a road out of the city towards the country, and we drive our car until our heart gives us the signal, this is the place. And we park our car and we walk off the road, down through the grass, down through the meadow, and we enter this beautiful forest. And in this forest, we're making ourselves available to the mystery, to the beauty, to the magic of this interactive dance with nature. And as we step on the mossy floor with our bare feet, the floor of the forest receives us and begins to sparkle and shimmer. And as we walk on, the violets and the shade plants begin to sparkle ever brighter and become luminescent to greet us. And so we begin to see that there's this higher interactivity with the magic and with the oneness. Everything in the field feels our presence, and we feel the presence of everything else. And what's more, everything in the field feels our presence and is immediately blessed by our beauty. And it responds, and then we respond to its response, and we're uplifted. So we begin this ascending spiral of appreciation, right? We can do this anywhere in our lives. But this emerald forest is an experience of this mutual appreciation that just keeps giving and taking and giving and receiving and giving and receiving as we walk. And we may hear beautiful music in the stream and beautiful music coming from the trees, the dragonflies, the Devic spirits. But now we're in the land of the higher coordinates. We're in the land of the divine alignment. When we're experiencing that childlike wonder, that childlike innocence, that is when the mind is open to be seated by this higher creational blueprint. There's a song that I created from a poem. The poem is, go out, I beg of you, and taste the beauty of the wild. Behold the magic of the earth. with the wonder of a child. So for me, maintaining divine alignment is very connected to where my focus is. And if I'm doing tasks toward, like say on the computer, public relations, working on my website, working on my podcast, I must do those tasks in a way that flows, that emanates from a place of flow. In other words, if I don't feel like doing a task, if that task is surrounded with a lot of heavy energy, then it's actually out of alignment. And so I move to find a task that is in alignment, that's still bringing me into a feeling of progressing through my to-do list. And then I go and I always find something that is in flow. Like for instance, today, the last time I did this episode, it was kind of discontinuous, and I edited it in a weird way. And so I thought, well, today I'll make a new Divine Alignment podcast. And that felt like a nice, flowing, joyful thing to do. And so I thought, that's something where I'm progressing toward my goal as a podcast host. And it's in flow, it's in alignment with joy. If we have to try, if we have to push, that's not divine alignment, right? That's kind of the litmus test. If you have to push, that's not it. Divine alignment allows you to be like a river of creativity. And you just participate with the flow. As it comes forward, you offer it up. And if it's not coming forward, you don't go and try to rip it out of the ground or force it to come forward, right? You just say, oh, that task is for another moment. So this idea of effortless prosperity, right? That everyone will be uplifted when we follow the flow of our effortless prosperity. And everyone will receive an energy of kind of burdening, kind of icky when we push or force something, right? So this is very much a part of being in alignment. A divine alignment is to not push. And right now I'm wondering if my microphone is loud enough. Lately the audio question has been it's been a challenge. It's definitely been a challenge. And I'm learning it's a steep curve. So we have to be patient with ourselves when we're learning something new, right? Because that's divine timing. Divine timing is organic timing, right? The earth, the original blueprint for this earth is an organic 5D matrix. And in an organic matrix, things simply flow. A seed puts down its roots inside the support of this beautiful earth. And it begins to push up that beautiful green shoot that eventually penetrates through the soil and sprouts as a growing stem. And then the leaves flow out. And then another leaf. And then another leaf. And then if you're a flower, you have a bud that comes. And then in time, with the perfection of the water, the air, the carbon dioxide, the sun, you blossom into that flower. And that has a specific timing. And you could say all of us as souls have, and you could say all of us as souls have a timing in the all that is, in the rhythm of the all that is. There is a divine timing of each one's unfoldment for the good of the whole, for the good of that particular soul, but also for the good of the whole field of flowers, right? So it's important to understand, because we're in a society where it's all about go time, go, 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 push, 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 make, 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 create, create, create. Your value is in your productivity, right? And that's completely not true. We are already worthy. We were born worthy. I remember my beautiful friend Theo Grace, he had a song about we are born worthy. Before we do anything, we are already just these most adored children in Divine Mother's creation. Divine Mother and Divine Father's creation, right? We are the result of this blissful convergence of the sperm and the egg. We are the highest desire, the song on Divine Mother's lips before we produce anything. And so the key is to discover how our particular harmonic, every soul, no soul is unique. Every soul has a specific color combination, a specific architecture, a specific, if you will, stained glass window through which the divine light is expressed. And so we all have that which brings us the greatest bliss. For me, I've described myself as a mermaid, angelic song weaver. Let's see, how's it go? Galactic, angelic, gypsy, mermaid, song weaver, healer. That's probably the best way I could describe myself, right? Because I have all the mermaid aquafarian genetics. I'm a total gypsy because the freedom codes run so deep in me. And I have a Sephardic Jewish lineage where I traveled as a gypsy. I'm from the angelic realms, so definitely angelic. I'm very galactic, and I'm a song weaver and a healer. So I mean, that would be my specific sort of energy signature: galactic, angelic, gypsy, mermaid, song weaving, healer. We all have our particular frequencies, right? And every one of us is needed for this great symphony. Like we're all the chords that are needed for the song. My beautiful friend Lynn Peabody created a beautiful song called Hey, Hey, Little One. I'll see if I can sing just a little part of it. It says, hey, hey, little one, where you going to? Hey, hey, little one, where you been? Dancing between light and shadow. All life's a gift we borrow. Let go and let the mystery dance through you. Hey, hey, everyone holds an answer. All chords are needed for the song. As the pace of life grows faster, each player has a different answer through keen awareness of their inner song. Right, it's like as the pace of life grows faster, each player holds a different answer through keen awareness of their inner song. And so where do we receive that keen awareness, right? You could probably answer that question. We receive it in the depth of our own heart, in the depth of that still, beautiful, still place that guides us. We receive the messages of where to go, what to do next. You know, we might be told to go to the store, and at the store we meet someone who's in our core soul group, and a whole chain of events begin to unfold. Or we may be told to binge watch something on Netflix because that's going to lead to someone coming into our lives that we could never have anticipated. That's what happened to me. It's interesting. Maybe I'll tell that story in another podcast. But we all have this guidance system that wants to guide our steps on the path for the highest good of not only ourselves, but our place in the great whole of unity consciousness. The earth is returning to a state of unity consciousness. And in unity consciousness, there are no win-lose interactions. If you do what is the highest good for you, it serves everything in creation. Now, sometimes doing what's the highest good for you may look like you're letting someone else down. But the truth is, if you are following your divine will and feeling what is in your highest good, that will always be in the highest good of everyone in the game. Because at this level of unity consciousness, there is only mutual benefit. And so if you're having a hard time saying no to someone, or putting up a boundary and saying, no, I can't help you with that right now, or no, that's for you to work on. You know, I don't feel a contract with that particular task. And sometimes you do have contracts. Like, I've had a contract to be here with my husband is definitely a contract. And to be here with my housemate, certain housemates, we definitely have contracts to be in each other's lives, to serve each other, to be quantum entangled deeply with each other. But then other people come into my life and it's like they'll ask me for a favor or they'll want something from me and I'll be like, I feel into it. And it's a no. And I get a no. So trust your no's just as much as you trust your yeses. In fact, it's in letting ourselves have our no's that we really get to realize, what does our yes really mean, right? If we say yes to everything, then we don't know what our real yes is, right? It's in the miracle of the no that we know what our yes is. And this is Gene Key 40. If this interests you, boundaries and overextending yourself and learning how to be in your divine will and serve the whole divine field, this is straight out of Gene Key 40. You can go to genekeys.com and look up Gene Key 40. You can buy the book on Amazon. The Gene Keys are a wonderful, wonderful tool in the journey of awakening, the journey of healing for relationships and also for your inner core relationship with yourself. So let's just take some deep breaths. We've covered quite a bit here. So divine action in divine alignment is always going to feel good. I remember the Yogista Karu Karmani, which is basically saying perform all actions from a state of balance. And that's kind of a big task, isn't it? But if we meditate, if we keep our finger on the pulse of our heart, of our well-being, then we start to live from this place of balance. And that's when we become very useful for our higher self. The more we can release the negative ego. For instance, I'll use mine. My biggest challenge with my negative ego is jealousy, envy. It's probably the biggest, or the fear of missing something. Those are some of my biggest. And fear, just fear, lack of trust in the divine unfolding, fear of not having enough money. So if we look at those particular traits or beliefs, what are the antidotes, right? The antidote to fear is always trust, always deepening our faith, which is going to be deepening our connection to the divine. Through more and more divine alignment, we'll receive feedback from the higher self that makes it easier to trust. And so let's look at the antidote to jealousy and envy. There's a siren going by. I'm just going to send my love to whatever that siren is heading towards. So jealousy and envy. Jealousy and envy stem from fear. Fear that one is not in the abundant alignment. Fear that the good things won't come to us. Fear that someone else is like a chosen by God, which is definitely in our field. The 11th gate in Stonehenge, United Kingdom, was programmed with that chosen bloodline thing. The concentration camps, the unchosen, were put in camps by the, quote, chosen Aryan race. So this is in the field. This is part of our scarring and our distortion as a human race, that some are chosen and some are not. So what can be the antidote? I would say the antidote is to tell the inner child, you are a chosen child of love. You are a part of the abundant garden of life. You are loved supremely by the divine. You have a beautiful and powerful destiny. And everyone's abundance unfolds at different times. So you may look out in the flower field and see that the chrysanthemums to the left of you are blooming brightly in the sun, while your rose is still in a tight bud. And instead of thinking, oh, I'm never going to bloom, you can say, oh, look, flowers do bloom. I will bloom someday. Right? This garden is for flowers that bloom, and I will bloom in my time. And then trusting that if you're not blooming in this moment, that there is a very good reason for that. That something in you is not fully ready, is not in alignment to come and hold the energy of that brightest bloom. And so you trust. There may be fear of visibility inside you. There may be distortions in the ego where you're going to define your success and it's going to circumvent the healing of your self-love, this is a big one. For those of us who have been powerful leaders in the past and abused power, any of us who know ourselves to be powerful leaders have done it the wrong way in the past. We've used our leadership to manipulate, to control, to suck energy, to disempower the people, to get them addicted and worshiping us. And that is the negative ego way, power over. And so many of us are on probation in this life. We are in a deep initiative journey of going inside first to make sure our self-love and our self-empowerment through our connection with the divine is very strong, so that when we do come into power, we are overflowing and emanating something of true value that takes nothing but gives everything. And so if you find yourself on that journey where you're like, hey, I was supposed to be successful and a leader a long time ago, and life just doesn't want me here, and no matter what I do, it doesn't work. Just realize that there's a time and there's a place. And that if you're not in your leadership now, it's because you're not ready. There really has to be a willingness to surrender all self-importance. In fact, that's really how you know you're in divine alignment, is when you have no attachment. When there's a place in you that knows, yes, I'm a leader. And yes, I'm here to lead my human tribe, my specific audience especially, that I am here to lead. But you have no attachment. You just, whatever. If it shows up, great. If it doesn't, great too. That's how you know that you're in divine alignment. Your self-love on the inside is so abundant that you don't need anything to happen on the outside. You are a flowing fountain of radiant bliss. You are love loving itself in an ecstatic communion with life itself, right? That's our potential. As divine angelic humans, divine angelic Christ Star Dragon Templar humans, we have 64 circuits of unbelievable giving and receiving, exchanging source consciousness through the physical body into the earth, and then back up into source and back down into this great positive feedback loop of ecstasy. That is our true destiny. That is how we lived on planet Tara in our organic fifth dimension. And that is what we are going back to as we bring back the diamond sun body, which is our angelic human blueprint. So it can be a really good litmus test. If you're feeling jealous and you're feeling envy, go home, love yourself, go in, strengthen your circuitry. Find the places in the circuitry that's broken, right? Where it's not flowing. Come back to that abundant fountain that you are until you feel so full in yourself. Then see if you're jealous. See if you have envy. Most likely you're going to see that person on Instagram, at the festival, dancing in the sun, leading the great, beautiful musical offering. And you're going to be like, beautiful, right? All you're going to feel is just joy that that's happening right now. Because you are happening at such an abundance that what outpresses in the physical is not something you have to catch up with. You just have to trust that when it's your time to be at a festival, singing for thousands of people, if that's in your Dharma path, then it will happen. And that in the meantime, you trust and you fill yourself with so much love. You clear out all those places of unworthiness, all those places that say, I need the world to recognize me until I can be good enough. And you say, nope, that's not how it works. You actually have to clean up and heal your circuitry. Love your inner child so fully from your Divine Mother's heart. Lift her up to the stars. Honor her birth. Tell her she's so special. And if she's in love with some beautiful, shining man, which my inner child falls in love with men, and even though I'm very happily married to my husband, it's interesting when I'm feeling the longing for the higher creational blueprint, it's other men that seem to have the fantasy bond with my inner child. And so I just allow that, and I watch that, and I tell my inner child, everything you see out there is in your connection to your Divine Masculine, right here, in here. How can we bring the Divine Masculine to the child and grow the child up into the Divine Woman and fall in love right here inside of this circuitry, this energy recognition of the uncontaminated electro and the uncontaminated magnetic, so that they can bond with each other and become a festival of light. And when the longing for that festival of light to come online at a greater level comes, I always think, oh, I wish I could be with this man. I wish he would see me. I wish he would love me. I wish he would recognize me. And then I have to go inside and go, okay, where are my inner masculine and feminine not dancing with one another? Where are they not recognizing each other? Where is there a kink in this great circuitry of light? Where is the festival not happening within me? And then I go in and I clean that trauma out. And I get those electromagnetic, right, the electrical system working again in that area. And so I have this poem that's really a song. I'll post the song in the comments or in the show notes. I'm just going to speak it here. So imagine your body. We probably have 18 circuits online right now. Imagine there's 64 circuits in the Divine Human. So without straining myself with the math, what is that? That's 46. 46 of our circuits are not online. So we wonder why we look to the world to try to get attention, get energy, upgrade our reality, because we're longing for those other 46 circuits, right? And so here's the affirmative command or affirmation that's calling in the next level, because there's no way we're going to get 46 all at once, right? Every time we have more gamma rays, more CMEs, the master computer conducting this ascension is our great central sun, which is shining straight through our sun. It's a master computer. And as of the solstice, we have what's called the Blue Rainbow Bridge. And this is bringing in high-level gamma rays that we've never experienced before. Now, these high-level gamma rays are going to call us into divine union with our own souls. They're going to call us into our everything that's not connected. So there's a lot of shadow purging. There's a lot of ego death. It's like an enema. You get hit by the clear water and the shit comes out. and up. But just know you're going through an upgrade. Okay, so here's the song that I do. I am the radiant light of the living light code. So just feel that. You can feel every sentence. I am the radiant light of the living light code. I am the shining river of rainbow joy. I am the emanating dream of the mind of God. I am joy. I am life. I am love. I am the sacred marriage of lover and beloved, the tantric dance of life with life. I am the ever-flowing circuit of giving and receiving bountiful, unbounded joy. I am the sun that comes at the end of the night. I am the crystal love rising in light. Om Shanti, I am joy. Om Shanti, I am love. Om Shanti, I am joy. Om Shanti, I am love. And all the love that's in the world, in every boy and every girl, is in you. The healing, the sperm and the egg. All the love that's in the world, in every boy and every girl, is in you. Feeling that immaculate conception of the divine, holy masculine and the divine, holy feminine. Feeling their circuitry dancing across all parameters of your physicality. There is no parameter of your physicality where this dance of sacred communion is not taking place. And that gives you a glimpse of what it is to really be in your divine blueprint, right? Now we know Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, Buddha, Padmasambhava, our ancient Tibetan masters, that they achieved this in the physical body. And so in this time, these gamma rays are enabling all humanity. The first wave will do it first, using the instruction sets from the Blue Rainbow Bridge, right? And I'm creating an online community to help guide us through the first embodiers, to guide us through receiving these instruction sets from the diamond, from the blue diamond, from the blue rainbow, and the gamma rays, and allowing ourselves to be remade as the diamond sun, which then gives a bridge, a blue rainbow bridge, to the rest of humanity, to the second wave, and then the second wave gives that bridge to the third wave. And this is how our whole planet and everyone on it, all species upon it, are moving into the 5D organic alignment of our divine human angelic blueprint, which we had on 5D Tara. The difference is we've never ever gone into the density of a fallen matrix, which is our planet Earth, and brought the diamond sun into the body while we're alive and gone through this massive transmutation. This, as I said, this has been done by Yeshua, by Mary, by Buddha, by Padmasambhava, right? By certain saints. Can't name them all, but it's never been done on a mass scale, bringing an entire planet through rehabilitation of its first, second, and third dimensional levels while being conscious in a body. In past times, when planets move from 3D to 5D, there is an alignment that occurs, and the planet just switches right into 5D. There's no massive process. But what happened in our case, we were slated to do that by the year 2005. Just we would wake up and be in 5D Earth. But the forces that like to challenge our, I'm not supposed to speak in duality. Everything's part of the play. But the forces that assisted us in making the game more interesting decided to pull their shenanigans on 9/11. And that is what gave us this much richer timeline of having to actually become the Stargates ourselves through this arduous process since 2005. All of us doing everything we can, especially the ancient founder builders and first embodiers, right? Giving our life to the lifting of this veil. Many of us would have had careers, children, whole different lives. But when 9/11 happened, we were told, okay, that's it. You're going to be in dirt time opening portals pretty much as your full-time job until we get the Blue Rainbow Bridge in here. And we've done it. So we are now ready to path cut this embodiment as a species, with our first waivers going first. We've been the ones that have been blowing open the portals this whole time. So we're ready. We're like, bring it on. Okay. So divine alignment. As we finish up this talk, I'd love to hear from listeners, the questions they would have. And the podcast, what's the word? The context of podcasts, it doesn't really give you that much chance to ask questions. But I'll tell you what, on the YouTube episode, you can comment and ask questions. And I'll definitely look at that and interact with you in that way. So just wishing everybody so many blessings in this process of remembering our divine alignment. When we fall out of it, it's going to feel bad. So get back in quick. And I'm making a little audio that I'll make available. If you want to donate for it, that would be awesome. I'll put it under the YouTube link where I post this video. And I'll be making other audios to help us come into that beautiful relaxation and openness, so that the magic and the majesty of these higher octaves can really begin to pour down into our hearts, into our minds, and lift us into those higher coordinates of receptivity to the Blue Rainbow Bridge instruction sets, which are remaking us. It's always such a beautiful metaphor, that caterpillar to butterfly metaphor, only we're doing it in human bodies. As the Blue Rainbow Bridge is making us into the beautiful, it's turning our imaginal selves, right? And we use our positive imagination to be in those realms of beauty through music that brings positive imagery. Very beautiful. To attune us to the instruction sets. I'm just going to recommend some music that really does this for me. The group 2002, especially the song Hold the Sky and Ready to Fly, and Dreams of Peace. I believe their album is called Dreams of Peace. And this beautiful, beautiful musician called Parijat, I think his name is Parijat, he has a song called Nothing is Lacking, and Journey to the Heart. There's a beautiful playlist on Spotify called Fairy Songs for Sleep. Fairy Night Songs by Singkar, very beautiful. Nessie Gomez, amazing music. My music, although my new CD, I've got to get it up on Spotify, but on my YouTube channel, you can definitely find a lot of uplifting songs. And at Bandcamp, saraadams1.bandcamp.com. But on my YouTube channel is youtube.com @SarahAdamsMusic. So you can find a lot of uplifting songs, the very songs that I've used to bring myself into divine alignment on YouTube. And of course, if you want to send a donation, it's wonderful. If you enjoy my music, you can do a PayPal frankmartin1963 @yahoo.com or Venmo Sarah-Adams-166. I'm so appreciative of donations as I'm really just emerging to financially support myself with my gifts. You can also support me on patreon.com, where I will have my spiritual community. I also have my music community on there at Sarah Hope Adams, patreon.com /Sarah Hope Adams. I'm doing kind of a commercial at the end of this. But I will be having a new community coming up on Patreon called Center for Divine Embodiment. And when that comes out, I'll definitely put that out here under this link. So I think I will say goodbye for now, and thank you for being with me in this episode. I look forward to hearing your comments and how you're feeling, what brings you into divine alignment, right? What knocks you out of it? What brings you back into it? And we can have a wonderful dialogue about this. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Thanks so much for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode. You can find all of the guest information as well as my contact information in the show notes. The musical selections for the intro and the outro were Let Yourself Be Awash in a Sea of Love and Mother Song. You can listen to and purchase these songs and more at saraadams1.bandcamp.com. If you found value in today's content, please like and share, as it really helps support the continued production of this podcast. If you would like to schedule a free informational call with me, you can do that at calendly.com /SarahAdamsHealing /30 minutes. Many blessings, and we will see you in the next episode.